In 1997, Nigeria's banking system was a ticking time bomb. A massive storm was brewing on the horizon, one that will shake the very foundation of Africa's largest economy. Across the country, depositors were losing their hard-earned savings. Banks were crumbling, and many believed that the future of the financial sector was uncertain. But as disaster loomed, someone saw an opportunity to survive and to build an empire.
Prior to 1997, some professional colleagues and I had been observing developments and evolution of Nigerian banking system, and we felt that the industry will get to a point where some banks will follow.
This man didn't wait for things to fall apart. He knew they would, and instead of running away from the storm, he prepared for it. The boldest move in Nigerian banking history began with a simple realization: the greatest opportunity lies in the greatest crisis. Tony Elumelu and his team saw what most couldn't: that a collapse of the banking system was imminent, considering the way things were going, and there was need to be properly equipped to take advantage of the situation when the time comes. To build not just any bank, but a financial giant. In Nigeria, where millions had lost trust in the system, they made a daring bet, a move so bold it will change the course of banking in Africa. Tony Elumelu and his team didn't have billions to throw around. What they had was vision. What they had was creativity. What they had was the courage to convert billions in debt into equity and trust, where others saw only ruin. This was the beginning of something huge, the birth of a financial powerhouse. But would it work? Could one man's foresight and audacity truly turn the tide for a nation on the brink of collapse? This is the story of how Tony Elumelu built Africa's financial giant. Welcome to the Pillar Behind the Brand series, where we bring you the untold stories of the boldest moves behind Africa's biggest brands. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Now, let's dive into the journey that will shape banking in Africa. In a time when banking appeared to hold all the solutions, one thing was clear: not all banks were going to make it. Tony Elumelu and his colleagues have been watching from the sidelines.
Some people say it's more like we saw it ahead of time, and it did happen. And when it happened, we saw the NDIC then in Nigeria. They wanted to liquidate over 22 banks, and some friends again and I felt that it was time to practice what we had foreseen and what we were preparing for.
The decision to act was not born from fear, but from foresight. They knew that when systems break down, there is only one thing left to do: rebuild.
And that was how we came together and made a bid for the then Crystal Bank, which we later changed to Standard Trust Bank. And the bid was simple. A lot of depositors had lost a lot of money in banks at the time, and we thought what we owed these depositors was to help them make sure they got their monies back.
They didn't simply promise them a return, they empowered them, creating a new kind of partnership, a partnership where the people's money wasn't merely refunded but invested in their future. The part wasn't easy, and the regulators, they were skeptical.
But I recall our first application to the Central Bank of Nigeria at the time, they said the then Director of Supervision, Mr. Gunle, is still alive. He's one of my mentors today. He said, this is a spurious and bogus offer. Mr. Gunle was a no-nonsense man. He went on later to become the MD of NDIC for Banking Supervision Department. They turned it down, but we insisted. That's why today in UBA, perseverance, resilience, is a core virtue, a core attribute, a core value of ours, because we apply that early on in this journey. So that's how it all started.
The plan was approved, and that was how the journey began. The ball was now rolling, but this was just the beginning. What would happen next? Could their audacity truly turn a failing bank into the foundation of Africa's next financial giant? The dust had barely settled after acquiring Crystal Bank. Yet, Tony Elumelu and his team were already thinking beyond recovery. The goal was never just to save a bank, it was to build an empire. The question was no longer about survival, it was about growth. Under Elumelu's guidance, Standard Trust Bank began to take shape. With a three-tiered strategic plan in place, they weren't just aiming to stay afloat, they were preparing to dominate the Nigerian banking sector.
We strategized, we came up with what we call the three-tier strategic intent. Tier 1, to turn around the distressed bank and make it viable. Tier 2, to make this distressed bank become one of the top 10 banks in Nigeria in a market that had over 120 banks. And Tier 3, to become one of the top 10 banks in Nigeria. And we put time frames for this. First one time frame was 3 years, 0 to 3. Second one was about to 7 years, and the third one was 7 to 10 years. That 10 years, year 10, we want to be one of the top 3 banks in Nigeria. And so this was it. This was what drove us. Every one of us, pioneers, one knew, and all the staff who came on board subsequently, they knew this. And that was how it all started. So we turned around this bank. That gave us put spring on our souls, and we were ready to bounce more because we saw the first intent had been accomplished. Then second intent to become the top 5-10 banks, we became one of the top 5 banks. Standard Trust Bank then, it was more the top 3 banks, UBA, First Bank, Union Bank, Zenith, Guaranty Trust. In fact, Standard Trust was 5th before even others. And then we said, okay, so this is achievable. Then let's re-strategize for the 3rd tier goal.
Elumelu understood that to truly lead, they had to think on a larger scale. And the larger meant one thing: merger.
Through the combination of Standard Trust Bank and United Bank for Africa, combination, equity combination, human capital combination, so everything together, and then we created today's UBA. And that was how, from ashes of Crystal Bank to Standard Trust Bank, from Standard Trust Bank to United Bank for Africa.
You've made it this far into the story, and just like Elumelu's vision, we are only getting started. If you've enjoyed watching this journey unfold, don't let it be a missed deposit. Hit that subscribe button and merge into the growing community of visionaries following the path to success. You won't want to miss what comes next.
Having accomplished our 30th strategic intent, the next thing was, what next? And we said we wanted to become the Pan-African bank.
Elumelu's dream wasn't limited to Nigeria. He envisioned a UBA that could reach every corner of Africa, a bank that would connect the continent, empowering businesses and individuals with the financial tool to drive growth and development. The vision was unmistakable: penetrate key markets, offer a comprehensive range of services, and position UBA as Africa's first truly Pan-African bank. With each new market, UBA delivered more than banking services. It delivered hope. For the first time, people across Africa gained access to world-class financial solutions designed to meet their unique needs. And the impact? It was truly transformative.
In 2005, when this happened, we re-strategized again. At the time, we worked with McKinsey. First time we worked on our own, now we work with McKinsey. I said, how do we become the leading financial services group in Africa? And so we came up again with our 3-tier strategic intent. for the new UBA. Tier 1 being solidifying our leadership in Nigeria, Tier 2 becoming a Pan-African bank, and Tier 3 having global presence in key financial centers of the world. Again, we put time frame to it. In 2007, we branched out Ghana, Cameroon, I think, and other countries. Today, I'm happy to say that UBA operates in 20 countries in Africa, Nigeria plus 19 others from zero at merger of 2005. So that intent of growing Pan-African Bank, we have one on course. Are we the leading Pan-African bank yet? Not immediately, but we are one of the top 3 in Africa at this time. And then in the global arena, UBA is by far number 1 African bank, all of Africa. African bank, we are the only African bank that operates in the United States of America with a deposit-taking license, all of US. We have UBA UK, we have UBA in Paris, our rep office, and just recently we got our proven principal to operate in Dubai. So you can see that from New York, London, Paris, and Dubai now, we're dotting the lines, crossing them, and making sure that we are able to improve our capacity and capability to serve African businesses across the globe.
The journey from a single bank in Nigeria to a global financial powerhouse is a testament to the bold vision of one man and his team, Tony Elumelu. But the true legacy of UBA goes beyond buildings and bank accounts. It lies in the impact it had on Africa's development, the lives it touched, the businesses it empowered, and the entrepreneur it helped build. Tony Elumelu's mission was never just about profits. It was about creating a platform for Africa to stand tall in the global arena. And this is only the beginning. UBA's legacy is just getting started. The next chapter, it's up to the next generation of leaders, innovators, and dreamers to continue the journey. Today, UBA stands as a testament to what one man's vision can achieve. A bank that has not only transformed Nigeria's financial sector, but has become a beacon of hope for millions across Africa. UBA is more than just a financial institution. It is the bridge connecting Africa to the rest of the world, empowering businesses, individuals, and nations to reach new heights. Tony Elumelu's work is far from finished. His mission continues to inspire a new generation of African leaders, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. UBA's journey from a small Nigerian bank to a global giant is just one chapter in a much larger story, one that is still unfolding. Tony Elumelu has proven that with vision, persistence, and a belief in the potential of Africa, anything is possible. UBA's legacy will continue to empower generations, making its mark on the world for years to come. Thanks for watching this incredible journey of Tony Elumelu and UBA. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more inspiring tales of entrepreneurship and leadership, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Your support helps us bring more stories that matters. We will see you in the next episode of the Pillar Behind the Brand series.